have you ever read the book The Alchemist? Whenever he follows his hero's journey to find the treasure, everything that he went and set out to do, at first it just, boom, it worked out for him. The first thing he did. And then there were all these tribulations, trials and tribulations, and things that didn't seem to work. But as long as he continued to move forward, the universe conspired for his success. And even whenever he worked at this one store for a year or whatever, it was like, why did he do that? But since he was there, he made it successful. And that was a part of his hero's journey. But it's like, hold on, his goal was to find the treasure. Why didn't he just keep doing that? But it built his character, and that was meant to be a part of his journey. It also gave him, I think, gave him some of the resources for the trip too. And whenever you're continuously taking these steps forward and you conspire your desire, that rhyme, into the universe. And guys, I'm a Christian, right? I believe in God, but I believe in Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior, but there's these other spiritual principles that they don't necessarily take away from Christianity. You know what I mean? There still is this spirit realm, and there's other religions and beliefs and all that sort of stuff. But back to what I was saying, this is just a topic on spirituality in itself. This doesn't take away the validity of Christ. Whenever you put this desire into the universe and you continue to walk towards it, things will fall into place. Even if it doesn't look like it in the moment, like when he was at the store for a year. Like, why was he at a store if he's a treasure hunter, right? In a lot of ways, I feel like I'm at a store in my life, and I'm sure you guys feel like you're at a store. And that's a good place to be as long as you are taking the steps and you have that vision of your treasure. At the end of the whole book, he finds the treasure was back home. But in my opinion, it was still necessary for him to travel all around to lead him back home. I feel like we have to go on this journey in life just to realize that the treasure is within ourselves. But if we just stayed at home the whole time, we wouldn't necessarily realize that. We wouldn't have the experiences to point us back there. We wouldn't have the connection with ourselves, the character to lead us back there. Because whenever you are traveling and you're chasing a dream, it's not the dream in itself that's so amazing. It's the journey. And I'm sure, I'm sure you heard that. What I want to say even more, it's who you're becoming while you're working towards your dream. When you're working towards something, it's working on you more than you're working on it. You work on yourself by doing the work. I used to watch all of these self-help things and documentaries, and I thought by watching them, I was becoming successful. But the truth is, you watch enough of those, you already know what to do. And even before it, the answer's already inside yourself of knowing what to do. It's just a matter of continuing to show up, continuing to put in the work, continuing to be better. And whenever you do the work works on you. Let's say you're in sales, because I've had sales jobs, I have one right now. You're working on communication. You're toughening your skin, because a lot of weird stuff happens in sales where you think you have something and you don't. And whenever you're going through these trials and tribulations, it could either break you or you can use it to make you stronger. Some people just say it makes you stronger. That's not necessarily true. You can go through hard times and allow it to break you. Now, if you can avoid trauma, like for example, breakups and things like that, I've been through some tough breakups, and I don't mean like screaming, yelling. I mean, just it was hard on me emotionally. And Some people say it's great for growth. I feel like if you can stay away from it, stay away from it. Now, you might need that heartbreak to let you know that you need to make a shift. Like, there have been certain things in my relationships where I was like, dang, I need to be better so I can attract the partner that I want or sustain it. You don't need everything in the world to attract or sustain a partner either, but there were certain things it would reveal to myself. But the pain of a breakup, the pain of a heartbreak can really hold you back, because you're going through your work, your day-to-day task with this pain inside. Now, maybe you do need one or two to realize you need to make a change, because pain does inspire change. But I feel like once you've learned the lessons from that, continuing to put yourself in that situation is only hindering your growth and adding more trauma and making it harder for the next path. We started off with the hero's journey over here to heartbreak, which I guess is all included, because in the book, The Alchemist, actually this ties in perfectly. In the book, The Alchemist, he finds this girl and he falls in love. She's infatuated with him. He's like, no, I'll stay. He wants to stay to be with this girl. And she's like, your purpose is to find the treasure. And if it's meant to be, I'll still be here. So as much as those relationships are amazing, your purpose always stays first. Taking care of yourself stays first so you can take care of others. Whenever you are working on your purpose and your dream and you're putting it into the universe, which is just like the spiritual realm, right? Like, you can pray to God as well, but whenever it says to pray, it says, ask and you shall receive, and, start moving as if you already have it. Walk in faith, and really you're rewarded by your faith. And whenever you have strong faith, you will start to take actions and things will conspire to reach your desires. But as I was saying, you're putting that intention out. You have that strong desire. And we already are, quote unquote, manifesting our life, whether you're aware of it or not. And I think one of the strongest things with manifestation is desire. If you have a strong desire, you're willing to do nearly anything for whatever your goal is. And whenever you're doing that, you're going to take the action to seek it out. It is interesting, that feeling of like a desire to win, a desire to succeed. Whenever I first got in shape, it was such a strong desire. It was over everything. I remember when I benched 455, weighing in the 180s, I would fall asleep visualizing bench pressing in my hands. I could feel the weight. Like, I bench pressed 455 so many times before I did. Physically, I'd fall asleep imagining I can feel the weight right now. And intuitively, everything gathered, the program, the workouts, the eating, the caffeine, all that stuff conspired based off of this visualization that I would do every night, and the strong desire, because I could have visualized anything, but that was my biggest goal. I've also done that with social media growth in the past, and then for a bit of time that wasn't really a desire for me, and then with money, I think something like that. There have been times where I did desire it and I would see it more, but it's honestly not as big as a desire as you would think. Really, I think a lot of men, or just people, we want the money so we can have a nice place to take care of people around us and have those relationships that we want, not even the money in itself. And you don't need the money for those things, but for the highest level of them, it definitely helps. So yeah, what do you desire? What are you willing to go through on your hero's journey? Are you willing to work at that store for a year with that vision in your mind? What people will you run into to reach that goal, whether they're here forever or a temporary piece of time? What nuggets of wisdom will you hear along the way that confirm where you're supposed to be? What confirmations will you see? And then if you find that significant other, Are you willing to go on your purpose? And if it's meant to be, they'll still be back there. And then, after it's all done, how will you find that treasure within yourself? The interesting thing is we find all these confirmations and answers outside of ourselves, but most of the answers we really already know. We just have to receive it.